All right, and we are live. So welcome. Thank you again for joining us today for the Alumni Job Shadow Program. I am going to share my screen very quickly just to give you a quick overview of what we're going to expect. All right, so welcome. Thank you again for joining us today for this session. My name is Rebecca Markarian, and I am a career counselor and assistant director in the Center for Career Development. I also am responsible for running the Alumni Job Shadow Program, which is why I am leading today's session. So I wanted to start by giving you all a quick agenda and overview of today's session. This session should be fairly brief. We wanted to start by going through some of the program logistics. Then we're going to provide you with a student walkthrough. So exactly how do you use HC Network? How do you create an account? How do you go in and favorite alumni that you might want to shadow over winter break? Then we'll talk about some frequently asked questions that come up for the Alumni Job Shadow Program. And then finally, at the end, we're going to have a Q&A. So wanted to let you know about that as well. So with that being said, give me one moment to make sure you can all see my screen. Fabulous. We have 2 more people in the waiting room. Great. Fantastic. So now if all of you can see my screen, we can get started. Okay. And here you can see the agenda slide right here. So with that being said, I want to start by telling you a little bit about the Alumni Job Shadow Program itself. So it is an opportunity for you to spend one day in person in the workplace of an alum and learn more about their work, the company, and their journey. So to join the program itself, as I was mentioning earlier, you need to create a profile on HC Network. So in order to do that, you'll want to click Connect and then Programs. And from there, you'll want to click the green Join button. And from there, your submission should be approved in between 24 to 48 hours. Since the program just launched this Monday, it might take a little bit longer, but should have you up in the group by the end of this week. Finally, after you create a profile on HC Network, you're going to want to select mentors to match with. So when you want to select mentors specifically, you're going to go in and use filters to sort by the list of alumni, by their industry expertise, and their location. You're going to want to pay very close attention to these 2 filters because it's an in-person experience. So if I am from the Boston area and I'm going back home for winter break, I would want to make sure that I'm selecting Boston or any local cities. If Worcester was reasonable for you over winter break, you could run a search for Worcester as well. So that is a filter that you're going to want to pay very close attention to as well. Once you're there, you're going to want to favorite between 15 and 20 alumni. This is going to make the matching process much easier. And you're going to want to favorite people that are working in these industries and roles that you find interesting and that you'd like to learn more about. So you'll see an option to favorite alumni on each alumni tile and via the green favorite button once you click in to view the alumni's page. And we're going to go through all of this in a live demo very shortly. Finally, there is a waiver that you'll be required to fill out as well. So this is available on HC Network. You'll just click on resources and complete the expectation and liabilities waiver before you start your shadowing experience. And finally, one of the big items to call out on this slide is that the deadline for students to complete this process is December 6th at 11:55 p.m. So keep that December 6th deadline in mind. It's a short window to join. And so with that being said, I'm going to give you a quick overview of HC Network itself. All right, so right now we are on the HC Network homepage. So if you've never logged in before, again, this is a great place to access it. So this is going to be what the page looks like when you arrive. If you hover over Connect, you're going to see a drop-down menu appear. You are going to want to navigate to Programs. And from there, you'll see that there's 2 specific programs. For the purpose of today, we're going to click into the Alumni Job Shadow Program. And once we get to this page, there is an About page here that details the same information that I communicated with all of you via email. It gives you more information about the program. It gives you information about the deadlines and the exact processes that you see here in order to favorite alumni. So that's the About page. And once it's time for you to join, once you've joined the group, you're going to hit this button here. Since I'm an admin, it's grayed out, but for students, you'll be able to see a green button and you'll be able to click Join after you've created an account on HC Network. So now we get into the matching process. So if you click Mentors, that is going to bring you to the page where our alumni are based. So this is a list of all of the alumni that have registered an interest in serving as a mentor for the Alumni Job Shadow Program. So in order to favorite your alumni, what you'll want to do is you'll hit this location button first. And this is where you would enter a city that you would be interested and able to shadow a mentor. So in my case, if I'm interested in Boston, I will type in Boston as my location, and then I will hit apply. And that will filter my list down to a number of alumni that live in the Boston area. If I'm interested in a couple specific industries, this is where I can favorite alumni mentors that are working in spaces that I'm really interested in learning more about. So to do that, I would hit more filters, and then you'll see a new drop-down menu appear. In this screen, I would click industries. And then for me, there's going to be a whole list of different industries you can take a look at. I'm interested in government intelligence, government at the local, state, and federal level. So I'm going to check off all of those. Let's see what else I'm interested in. I'm interested in K through 12 education. I'm interested in higher education as a given because I work at Holy Cross. If I keep scrolling down, I also have an interest in NGOs and nonprofits. And so I think that's a fairly comprehensive list for me. So what I'm going to do is hit apply. And so now I'm going to have a curated list of alumni that are working in the greater Boston area that are working in these industries that I'm really interested in exploring. So I would go in if I was interested in potentially having Christine Barber. Christine Barber is a state representative at the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. If I was interested in potentially shadowing her, I would just hit this favorite button right here. And so again, you're going to want to go in and you're going to want to do this for between 15 to 20 alumni. This helps make sure that our matching process is more accurate. And again, you can have a number of different industries here. Goes everything from wholesale trade to accounting. So there's quite a list of industries to choose from. So that's a walkthrough on the actual HC network piece itself. So with that being said, let's go into some frequently asked questions. So for the Winter Alumni Job Shadow Program, you'll find out who your match is by the end of the day on Tuesday, December 12th. And you're going to find out via email from me. So that is my email address. Once you hear from me about who your match is, from that point onward, you, the student, you're going to be responsible for outreach from that point forward. So this program itself, this iteration is going to be 100% in person. But if you are unable to find any alums in your immediate area, feel free to schedule an appointment with me or with any of our career counselors at the Center for Career Development, and we can help you explore informational networking and networking opportunities that might exist in your community with other Holy Cross alums. Another common question we get is, I see only 5 alums that I'm interested in shadowing. What happens if I favorite only 5? The result is you're going to be less likely to be connected to an alum, and you're going to be more likely to be randomly paired with someone. We really need you to go in and pick 15 to 20 alumni. I can't emphasize that enough. It really helps with the matching process. So if you have a couple of different industries you might want to explore, that's a really great way to expand the network of alumni that you might be interested in shadowing. This shadowing process is going to take place over winter break 2023, 2024, and the exact date that that's going to happen is going to be up to the conversation that you have with your alumni. As far as what you can bring, wear, or prepare, just connect with your alumni on what's most appropriate for their workplace. And your best bet from us at the Center for Career Development is to be as professionally dressed as possible for the space. And then finally, can you stay connected with your alum after the experience ends? It's up to the alum, but we have plenty of students that have gone on to connect with their alum afterwards. Shadowing is a great first step to potentially landing an internship at a company. And so we highly recommend trying to stay in touch after your experience. So with that being said, we wanted to turn it over to students for a question and answer session. Please feel free, if you want to take a screenshot of this slide just with my contact information, you are 100% more than welcome to do so, but wanted to give you all space to ask questions. So feel free, if any of you have questions, I'll give you a few minutes to type that into the chat. Or also feel free to come off of mute and we can go about it that way as well.
Hi, I'll start. I just have a quick question.
Sure.
So first, does everyone automatically get paired with someone? And then, like, if you're signed up for the program, you're guaranteed to get a mentor? And
Yeah,
then
so oh, go ahead, sorry.
also I was just wondering, does every mentor only get assigned to one person? Or say there's like, I noticed for the Boston area, there's about like 30 mentors, but say there's about 40 kids wanting to, like, their location is Boston. Will there be multiple mentees for mentors?
That's a great question. So we really set it up so that each alum is going to be matched with only one. There's only going to be one mentor assigned to a mentee because we know that our alums have many commitments. So I would say if you are wondering, number one, if every student that signs up for the program will be assigned a match, the answer is like 99% of students will be assigned a match. I think the only time when we can't deliver a match is if a student is based in a location where we just simply don't have any alumni in that area. If that is something that comes up, what will happen is you'll hear from me directly and we can talk about networking and informational networking opportunities, ways to potentially identify with Holy Cross alums that might be in your part of the country or might be where you're based internationally. So yes, like again, 99% of students I would say are going to get a match. It's really just geography based if we aren't able to find a match. And then addressing your second question is that every mentor is going to be assigned just one mentee.
Got it. Thank you.
No problem. Let's see. We have another question in the chat that is the program restricted to certain class years? For example, just juniors and seniors? Is it possible for a freshman, especially one based in a location that might possibly have more alumni available like NYC? So for that question, great question. I would say this particular iteration of the Alumni Job Shadow Program is dedicated to sophomores, juniors, and seniors. So back in this, if we get to spring of 2024, freshmen will be eligible to join at that point. But for this particular iteration, we want to give freshmen time to get settled in. And that's why this particular winter 2024 Alumni Job Shadow Program is just for sophomores, juniors, and seniors at this point in time. So great question. And if you have any more follow-up questions about that, please feel free to send me an email specifically. Another question that we received via chat is, can we additionally reach out to an alum that we don't get paired with? That is a great question. I would say yes, if an alum is on HC Network, it means that they are very interested in hearing specifically from Holy Cross students. So even if you don't get matched for a shadowing experience with that alum, feel empowered to go into HC Network and reach out to alums directly. It's a great way to start building your networking skills as you get ready for internship and job opportunities post-grad. Let's see. A few more questions. Let's see. Where will the recording of this meeting be? I'm having trouble finding the program on the HC Network website. So this recording, I would be happy to email out this recording to all of the students that have attended today. Our marketing department is also going to make this available as well. Where it will be, it's possible it will be posted on the Center for Career Development website. It's possible it can also just be sent out via email to all sophomores, juniors, and seniors as a follow-up as well. When is the deadline to favorite and apply to the mentor? So the mentor deadline has already passed. So we are past like the mentor deadline. We are strictly moving into the student deadline at this point. So if we circle back to this slide, the deadline for students is December 6th at 11:55 p.m. for students. Great question. And let's see, another question. I found around 7 mentors in a broad number of career fields in my areas. Because I found some mentors to favorite, but not enough. What would you recommend I do? Great question. And that's something that comes up a lot of times. I would still try and pick up if there's any additional industries that you might be interested in. I think you saw from the overview, there might be probably upwards of 30 to 40 different industries. So even if it is less specific, I would still pick other industries that you might want to explore to hit that 15 to 20 alum threshold. That way we can make sure your match is more specific. If you only favorite 7, that's really not enough to ensure a great match, and the odds of getting a more random assignment are higher than if you were to favorite 15 to 20 alums. Let's see, next question. I'm from the Boston area and there aren't many mentors from the Boston area. Am I allowed to favorite alumni from nearby states and travel? Absolutely. That's a fabulous question, Christos. So yes, you are allowed to favorite alums that are in other states, as long as you are capable of traveling to those states. So for example, if you were interested in making it to Providence, Rhode Island area, that is commutable via train, via car as well. So if you had wanted to favorite alums or any space you could travel to, we also have sometimes had students that have family in other cities, other states, that they're able to get to for a shadowing experience as well. Particularly New York City is a popular destination for a lot of students. So if you had family, if you had the means to be able to get to that location over your winter break, certainly welcome to favorite those cities as well. Let's see, another question. Because of my location, I only have under 10 mentors available. Should I just favorite all of them? What would you recommend? Yeah, I think that's a tricky question. I would still say, based on location, if there is no one else, the question I would have for you is it 10 total geographically, is spread across all industries, or is it 10 that are in industry specific to you? I would say feel free to shoot me an email specifically, Anna, and I'm happy to give you more advice on that piece. But if it's specific to just your industry areas, I would expand industry areas to include a wider net so that you can get better results for your match. A lot of really great questions, everyone. I'll go back to our final question slide. Any other last minute pending questions? Give it like one more minute and then we can call it. But these have been some really great specific questions. I would emphasize again, if you have any questions that are specific to your unique situation, I included my email address here. I've received a lot of emails from mentors, from mentees, so you're welcome to reach out to me and I can answer any and all questions you have about the program to the best of my ability. And so with that, I think we can call the presentation. Thank you all so much for attending this evening. We appreciate your time, and we will make this recording available to all of you soon.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.